Hi everybody, it's Catherine. Today's project is this box that is 5 inches by 3 1/4 by 1 inch wide. Inside I have a packet of these nuts that I bought in a 4-pack from Dollar Tree. They're Nature's Garden and they're very delicious, I have to say. And you can fit 2 in if you want, and there's plenty of other things that you could fit in this. You could put a gift card with some tissue in there. One of our smaller dies will fit in here. Lots of different things. And I'm using the new Hydrangea Haven stamp set. The hydrangea dies to cut the flower out, and the Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper. Okay, we're going to start with a piece of Granny Apple Green that is 9 inches by 7 1/2 inches. And we're going to start on the 9-inch side, and we're going to score at 1, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, and 8 1/2. And we're going to turn it to the 7 1/2 inch side, and we're going to score at 1, 6, and 7. Okay, and that's it. Okay, and then I'm going to fold and burnish. Missed this one. Okay. Now you have a long skinny rectangle at the top and one on the right hand side. And then you're going to see my nasty writing again. All right. So we're going to take away this piece, the lowest rectangle on this skinny piece. We're going to take away this whole flap. There's 2 rectangles right there, and then there's this square and this rectangle we're going to take apart. And then we're just going to make tabs out of the rest of the top and the bottom. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to start with this strip, which is on the shorter side, and have it on your right. Okay, and we're going to take out this rectangle here on the bottom and just wedge the piece above it. Okay, and then we're going to move over here, and we're just going to keep the rectangle straight and wedge out the square. Move down, keep the other side of this rectangle straight, and wedge the square. Okay, now we're going to turn it so that the rectangle that we just cut out is on your left hand side. And we're going to go, there's the skinny rectangle and the square, then the long rectangles, and then there's this square with the rectangle above it. We're just going to cut the square, okay, and then cut this little rectangle off the top of it, and just wedge just a little bit out of the square, okay. And now we're just going to take all of this away. Alrighty. Okay, so now we have the square that we wedged. This is going to be our top flap, so we just have to cut free this square. So just cut the middle flap straight. We're going to get rid of the rectangle on top of that, and then just wedge a little bit out of this square right here. And there you go. I'll hold it there a second so maybe you could get a screenshot if you need to. Okay, now I want to use the Detail Trio Punch to round the edges, the corners of the flat. Okay, that one was a little funky. I think I did that a little too far in. All right, I'll just fix that. I pushed on that just a little too hard. All right, no problem. Okay, now for our DSP, we need, now you can do 2 pieces and put one on the back and one on the front. But to save my DSP, to do tutorials, I'm only going to put one. This is going to be the front of the box. Okay, this is going to be the back. So the back, we want to take whatever small circle punch you have, since we don't sell them right now at Stampin' Up, and just take a little finger hole out of it. Okay, now that's the one that doesn't have the flap, obviously, because you're going to cut it there. And then, okay, so we need one piece that is 4 3/4 by 3 inches, or 2. You could put one here, but put it on and then take the notch so you don't have to match it up. Okay, and we need one piece that is 3 inches by 3/4, put right there, and 2 that are 4 3/4 by 3/4 for the 2 sides. Okay, I'm gonna get my seal. Right, now we need some tear and tape, and we're going to put it on this side rectangle, and we're going to put it as close to the score mark as you can get it without hitting it. Okay, and then you're going to flip this over and flip that side to meet it. All right. Now, I still need that. Okay, so this is going to be our back. I'm going to close it. And it would look very pretty with some more DSP here. Okay, and then I'm going to flip down the sides, the back, and this is going to be our front that we need another piece of tear and tape. And if you're going to put something heavy in here like a punch, just put 2 on there just in case. Okay. And now our box is finished. Okay, now let's do some stamping. Okay, for this we need, this is going to go on top. So we need a piece of Old Olive that is 2.5 by 4.25. 2.5 by 4.25. A piece of basic white that is 2.25 by 4. And that's going to go on there. And then out of the back side of this, I used the dies, which are the Hydrangea dies, to cut this little tag out. Alrighty, so we don't need to attach these yet. We're going to do some stamping first. Now, what's in here is Old Olive, but I found that Granny Green, when you stamp it, is a little bit closer. But we're really going to start first with the Gorgeous Grape. And I have the large hydrangea from Hydrangea Haven. And I'm going to do the whole thing in Gorgeous Grape. Okay, and now we need a little piece of scrap. And first I'm going to decide, it's not that hard because when you cut it with the die, it kind of gets, if you don't get it on the right way, Okay, and it's not exact, so just get it in the general direction. Okay, it's hard to find the exact because it really overlaps. So don't worry about exact placement. And get your scrap paper, and we'll stamp it off, and then we're going to stamp it onto the flower so that it doesn't erase all of these underneath it. You can't really see them right now, but you will as soon as it lightens up a little bit. All right, and now for the leaves, I used the Granny Apple Green, and I didn't stamp off of this, I just stamped it. There we go. Well, I really missed on that one, so I'm just gonna, I'll go over it again. There we go. And it gets cut off also if you go a little bit out, so it's not a big deal. Okay, and I'm gonna cut this out with the dies, and I'll be right back. Okay, now what I did with this one is just a little bit. I just took a little bit. I didn't cover the whole thing. I just kind of swirled on it with some Wink of Stella just to make it a little bit sparkly. And it kind of melds some of the colors together to make it look a little bit light, a little bit different in some of the areas. So I like that look because it's supposed to be more of a watercolored look. All right, so now I'm going to, I think on this one I colored it flush. I glued it flush, but I think I'm going to put dimensionals on this time. Okay, and maybe I'll use, no, I'm just going to use a piece of the edge for the stem. Yeah, right there would be great. I'm going to put that right down on there. Okay, you don't even have to. You could actually put a little dot of glue right there and just connect that. Okay, and then I'm going to put it on the piece of basic white that is 2 1/4 by 4. And it's going to hang off, but that's okay. Oh, it helps when you take the backs off. That one already is. Okay. One more. Okay, and just place it how you like it on there. And the leaves hang off a little bit. Okay, and then we need seal again to attach it to the Old Olive piece that is 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. I guess I could have attached this before I put the flower on, just in case there was a little bit of a bending or anything, but there wasn't, thank goodness. Okay. All right, now I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. And I'm just going to center it on the top of the box and press it down. All right, now for the saying, I'm using from the same stamp set, With Love, and some Tuxedo Black Ink. Great. Okay, and all I did with this is I put a dimensional on the back. And I'm going to put it to the side. I should have taken that off. All right, well, now we need our gorgeous grape sheer ribbon. I'm just going to tie a little bow. It's not so little, but it's all right. It'll help me. There we go. And I'm just going to put it right, let me decide which way I like, this way. I'm going to put it right on there with a glue dot. I'm just going to put it right at the base of the flower. And then I'll trim the excess off. And then I'm just going to take a tiny, tiny bit of liquid glue and put it right on the top of the tag, because we don't need to really mess with tying it on with something at this moment. And then I just tucked it underneath the ribbon middle. Whoops, I'm getting glue everywhere, but it won't show. And push down the dimensional. Okay, and now for the final touch, I took some of, all of these things that I'm using, except for the cardstock and the basic white. The Old Olive and Basic White cardstock are in the new mini catalog. And these are the Pastel Pearls, and I'm going to put 3 of the gorgeous grape right down here because we need a little something down there. And that's it. And I think I might add just a little bit more Wink of Stella in there. Just a little bit. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would like to purchase any of these products, you can chat with me at the address at the top of the screen, katherinetiemann.stampinup.net. And I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the like button. And if you want to be notified every time I have a new video up, you could hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching my videos today. I appreciate the time you spend. I will see you next time. Bye.